Gotta get off this boat.
Oh, you want to get off the boat?
Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy nominated for survival drama The Revenant.
Look at me.
Not everything is about you.
Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander for the story of a transgender pioneer. Like last year, all 20 acting nominees for the 2016 Oscars are white. The Academy choosing not to recognise performances like Will Smith in American football drama Concussion.
I have never wanted anything.
His wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, says she's decided not to attend the Oscars because of the lack of diversity.
Maybe it is time that we pull back our resources and we put them back into our communities, into our programs.
Director Spike Lee also spoke out on social media at the end of America's Martin Luther King weekend, saying he wouldn't be attending the ceremony in February. How is it possible for the second consecutive year all 20 acting contenders are white? President of the Academy, Cheryl Boone Isaacs, admits that she was disappointed with the lack of racial representation and has promised changes to diversify the mix of Oscar voters. Many black performers have, of course, been recognised in the past. Only 2 years ago, actress Lupita Nyong'o was nominated for and won for 12 Years a Slave. But this is all part of a wider industry problem. Speaking yesterday, Idris Elba, who some expected to be Oscar nominated for Beasts of No Nation, said opportunities for black actors were too limited.
The reason I went to America is because the USA has the most famous diversity policy of all, and it's called the American Dream. The problem is the gap between the dream and reality.
Many are now hoping and expecting that in future years, the selection of awards nominees will better reflect the diverse range of cinema audiences.
Well, let's bring in Elon James White. He's the CEO of This Week in Blackness, who will be broadcasting an alternative event to the Oscars at the same time. He joins us from California. Thanks for taking time to talk to us. Now, your event says, ignore us, we ignore you. Do you think by ignoring the Oscars, things will change at all?
Well, it's not so much exactly to make them change. The fact is that this seems to be something that has been an issue for quite some time, even with the people that have been nominated or have won Oscars. It has always been some sort of amazing feat to do so. So clearly there is an issue that they don't actually take the talents that come from my community very seriously, and they actively do not recognize it. So the idea of the program that we're throwing, which we're referring to as We Ain't Watching, is basically the idea that we're going to continue doing the work that we do, continue showing the content and the talent that we have, and whether or not they want to acknowledge it or not, we're still going to do it, and they can do it without our eyes and viewers watching that.
So will you refer to the Oscars at all? What will be your message during that time?
I mean, yes. I mean, well, clearly we'll probably talk about the Oscars just a little bit because we'll have to mock the issues that have been happening here, and we'll have to point out the yet again lack of diversity and the fact that they have not changed it. So yes, we will acknowledge it, but the idea is not so much to do a quote unquote like a Black Oscars or something like that. It's going to be an entertaining time where we just take stock in what the situation is and call out shenanigans where we see it.
All right. There's a Black host this year. Does that make a difference? And we'll even have a Black president of the Academy.
That is often something that people believe, that if you see a Black person within a position of power, then all of a sudden the situation has changed. Clearly, that is not the case. I mean, you can have a Black host, but yet no one can get actually nominated. You can have a Black Academy president, but yet people are not nominated. Just like in America, you can have a Black president, yet racism is still rampant. So seeing Black faces in positions of power or just visible in general normally does not mean that the situation has been fixed.
All right. Elon James White, CEO of This Week in Blackness.